This is our second scenario for the Blood and Bones campaign. If you haven't seen the first one, go check it out. It's the first Tomb Kings and Empire battle report, and it's a scenario-based campaign that a friend of ours is running. We'll be doing Empire, which is mine, and Tomb Kings, which is my mate John's. Very nicely painted Tomb Kings army. Pity they're no good.
Very true.
So basically I have a quick rundown of my army. It's restricted units and stuff that we can use. So I've got 20 spearmen, halberdier detachment, and a handgunner detachment, and then 30 spearmen with a handgunner detachment and an archer detachment. Captain Bartholomew and his wizard mate, and then we have the rangefinder, the cannon, 11 Empire knights with the warrior priest, and 6 outriders. The scenario we have here is a road with the Empire steam tank on the far end over there with 5 engineers trying to escort it across the board. What's happened is, after stealing the staff of Ramadan, returning to the Empire, we've come across that it's been cursed, and the curse is passed on to anything close to the guy who hasn't. In this case, the steam tank, and the steam tank is injured or unrepairable, so they're going to try and get it to safety. The Tomb Kings will be coming on in this area over here, and their objective is to slay the engineers before it reaches the end of the table. If they do that, they'll get a bonus for the next scenario. In this particular scenario, because I've won the last game, I get to re-roll 1 dice per turn. Per game. Alright.
1 free reroll.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Alright.
Worth it.
This is John's army.
Right,
Do you wanna do it,
as
John?
Jason said, this is my Tomb Kings army. Slight change from the last Blood and Bones, if you've seen that. If not, as Jason said, go check it out. We have a Tomb Prince with a, well, I'm going to call it a great weapon and shield. I don't know why I gave him that. Another Tomb Prince with great weapon. They've got a few various magical items with him, various ward saves. A priest with a ward save. 2 core units of skeletons, 30 strong, each with a champion and standard.
Do they have shields this time?
They have shields and they have light armour this time. They've got geared up specially. We have 40 archers. They're just standard with their hand weapon and bow. Got 4 chariots. I doubt it's going to make much of an impact other than exploding.
Empire troops, it might do.
Yeah, if they hit home. They have a standard and champion, but nothing else. And I also brought a War Sphinx along, which is likely going to be blown up
By a rangefinder.
by this cannon here. Most probably within the first turn, unless
Or
I
with
get
my
lucky.
luck, a misfire.
Yeah, hopefully it will explode. So there we go. I think it's going to be tough because, well, there just seems to be a lot more Empire units, although they're most probably detachments and not very strong. He's going to outmaneuver me, and I'm going to die a horrible, horrible undeath.
Okay.
Oh well.
This is after deployment. I am deployed as such. I'm basically protecting the road so the steam tank can move behind my army and try and get off that side. John's trying to counter that with things to take it off the last bit. And then if he's lucky, he's going to try and shoot the shit out of it. I've rolled for first turn. The steam tank will move d6 plus 1 inch for every engineer attached to it. So at the moment it's 5 engineers, so I'll get d6 plus 5. So hopefully I can roll nice and high and get it going. John's cleverly deployed his what's that thing called?
War Sphinx.
War Sphinx very far away from the cannon. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's go with first turn.
Nice, that's on. Right, end of turn 1. Empire had their first turn. Quite a bit of movement in the Empire ranks. The spearmen and 2 detachments moved up off the mark of the line. The other bigger spearmen unit moved up with their detachments. off the mark. As you can see, he's making quite a defensive curve there.
guys have
The
vanguarded today.
knights have also moved up the sally forth just a little bit, tempting my unit. The outriders moved up with their vanguard move into a good defensive position behind the hill and inflicted quite a few casualties on my first archer unit, causing 5 with their volley of shots. Magic phase was quite interesting. The Empire Wizard managed to cool down the Comet of Cassandra, which was placed roughly in between these two units of archers, and in my turn he rolled a 4, thus the Comet landed, taking 4 casualties out of the second unit and another 5 off of the back of that initial bowman unit, so they're at half strength already. My magic phase was abysmal. I did a bit of moving myself, tried to advance the skeletons out of the way of the impending comet, but at movement 4 with no march moves available, that didn't really work.
And your magic phase was bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
Rolled 5, 6 dice, and you couldn't even reach the spell.
Yeah, this is true. I tried to cast Petrarch's Incantation of Righteous Smiting to get a few more shots. I did the extra ranged version, so to give me 24 inches, but failed abysmally. I rolled 16 on 6 dice.
The steam tank rolled 4, so it's moved 9 inches forward.
Yep, 9 inches if he keeps that roll up. And I also can't target the engineers at the moment. This is something we're going to have to address if I do manage to get a shot at them, as to how we're going to work that out regards the scenario. But so far,
it's Empire turn 2.
yeah, Empire turn 2.
End of turn 2. Another abysmal turn for John. My cannon killed an archer. Killed some more archers with the handgunners. These archers got peppered more by the outriders. The comet came down again, took out about 5 or 6 skeletons, and both those guys tried attempted charges on my knights, and both of them failed as John rolled really, really low for all his charges. He then rolled massively high for the winds of magic, and then proceeded to get shut down.
Plus the comet come down again.
Yeah, comet came down.
2 counters.
I rolled the bigger. On my turn, I rolled the bigger comet, right there between the skeletons. Came down, killed a couple from that squad, a couple out there. So it's looking really, really bad for John. I'm moving into position, just trying to hold him off. The steam tank moved 7 inches this turn, so it's just about to get on the proper road, and they've got to move across to there. So see how it goes in turn 3. Right, a little thing unusual, but it's such a nice cinematic view that I thought I'd do it anyway. This is at the end of my turn. On my turn 3, I charged the War Springs with my Inner Circle Knights. I charged up the hill, straight into the big beast, and failed their fear test. But I still managed to kill it. This is just before overrunning. I caused 1 wound, and you caused 3 wounds in return, but I saved them all. So I got a nice little view of the skeleton getting speared by the lance there. And just for interest's sake, my outriders charged over the hill over there into the skeletons and smashed them apart. So great combat turn for me. And we're going to go into John's turn now, and he's going to start crying. Okay, this is the end. This is the end of turn 3. As you can see, I've overrun over the War Sphinx that was there. The skeleton chariots have moved around this way. The skeleton warriors both moved up. And that, they've been hit by 3 comets, has it been?
Only 1. 2.
And this one's back to full strength again, as John got 2 Restless Dead situations back again. As you can see, that one's only missing 1 guy. They charged the spearman unit and failed, and then charged the archers, which I fled with. Over there, my outriders destroyed those skeleton archers and reformed to face into this way. Those guys have also had 2 Restless Dead attributes back again, so they're building up, but it's okay. I've got enough here to keep them busy. They fired on the tank and killed one of the engineers, which was pretty good shooting, considering I think they only got 2 wounds through, which was enough to kill an engineer. And that's roughly what the battle's looking at. We had a little rules question. Maybe someone can answer it for us under the comments below. That unit there charged the spearmen, and I declared a support fire with the archers, and then he failed the charge, and the second unit charged the detachment, and I chose to flee. Is that how, did we play it correctly? They get to fire, support fire and then flee from the second unit, or have we messed that up? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks, cheers.
Here we go, end of turn 4. Empire started off, cannons trundling up. I say trundling, sort of, well, moving-ish.
Awful placement of that cannon.
The spearman unit and detachment haven't really done a lot, moved up a little bit. Handgunners pretty much stayed in the same position.
Just peppered that unit.
Yes, they did.
Again.
Shot and killed another 5, which is pretty much what I got raised back. What happened? Knights reformed quite impressively. Almost, well, I actually thought I had a unit of heavy cavalry in my Kemrian army, but alas, it's Empire. These fellas here, these are very good. Even though we've always thought this unit was absolute whack. Peppered, took out, well, how many was there? 7?
Yeah,
something like that. Quite a few wounds on the back of this unit.
Failed both your charges, yeah, and then made a ridiculously long charge.
Yes, my turn. I had it in my mind, if you remember from last turn, there was 2 core troop units in there who failed their charges. I was going to get the one on the right to charge the spearman unit. It was a pretty standard charge. I didn't need that much on the dice. And I rolled a double 2.
Yeah.
That was pathetic, because then obviously that was the first one resolved. I blocked myself like an idiot. This unit was going to try. There's no real, although there is a tree there and stuff. It's just a little shrub really. They tried to charge and they rolled just as poor. So I'm now facing the wrong way from a massive knight unit, and I didn't make it into combat anyways. And then luck helped. My chariots, which were here in this space here, needed 11 or more. Okay, it was on 3d6, but they still made a charge. It's the first time my chariots have ever hit anything. Ever. They normally just die. I did 15 wounds.
Killed half the unit.
And obviously because of the new rules, I say new rules, they're pretty old now, steadfast. Which I forgot about, because I play 40k. So, even with a negative 14 modifier, he still passed, but only just on the cusp of leadership 8.
Steam tank moved another 4 inches forward.
It did indeed.
And the archers failed their rally test.
So they're rolling back a little bit further. It's going to get messy in this turn for me, I think.
Comet's got another count on.
Oh yeah, there's another comet. This damn comet.
Right, let's go. Alright, this is turn 5, I think. And basically that was a really good turn for John. Although, scenario-wise, well, let's give a quick recap. The archers picked off another 2, yeah, and returned. I got nothing on them with my shots, which was really annoying. My wizard blew up and killed 2 of the spearmen, but he's still fine. Halberdiers are formed that way. The cannon is ready to fire on down here, because here the chariots destroyed my spearmen. As I think I failed 6 out of 7 fear tests in this game.
Yeah.
You know, before I thought fear was pointedly irrelevant. Now I see it's not so bad as when you're failing them left, right, and centre. Yeah, the knights also failed their fear test and ran off. The Khemri guys are right where that tomb prince is, so they're an inch behind me. These guys stayed put because what they're trying to do is get to these guys. John was debating whether or not to reform his chariots to try and charge in his turn, but what he was worried about was the cannon having a flank shot on his chariots, so he decided to overrun and cut down my captain and his spearman unit who fled. And over here he's tried to cut down my knights with that 1 unit and kept that unit steady so that he can try and move down here, because I'm literally that far away from the board, so maybe 2 turns, yeah, depending on how I roll.
It's going to be 2 turns.
My archers over here rallied, not that they're that useful, but I've got 4 engineers left. Hopefully they can push the steam tank over the line, and I've got some guys left, so I'm not like out of the game in terms of strength, but these chariots, man, they're really strong against my toughness 3 Empire soldiers. Also, it doesn't help that I keep failing my fear
It was
test.
a spell. I got that
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Incantation of Righteous Smiting right in the middle of everything, giving everything an additional attack.
That was hilarious. Yeah, you cast the incantation smiting on irresistible force, blew up, killed 3 guys in that unit and 2 guys in this unit. Then used his law attribute to resurrect 3 guys in that unit and 2 guys in this unit and killed one of my knights, which was freaking hilarious. It's like, what was the point? Might as well left them there.
Yeah.
There's another comet coming down. Hopefully, in my turn now. We can take out some of these freaking skeletons.
That might do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
it's
might.
got the potential of doing.
Let's have a look what happens.
Okay,
Let's go.
Here we go then. So turn 6, still grinding onwards. A few things happened this turn. Basic stuff for the Empire. A bit of movement. Cannon staying stationary. The handgunners have rotated.
Cannon killed a chariot.
The cannon did smash a chariot.
Empire soldiers killed the
Albies
main
coming in.
archers.
He's charged the remaining 7 archers. Quite easily killed those, and they've reformed now to try and join the fight.
Just so you know, the game doesn't end on turn 6. What happens is the game ends when one of the objectives are completed. Either John kills that, or I get off the board.
So it's close. We
Yeah.
reckon potentially 2 turns left. The Outriders peppered this unit here, taking them down to literally the front rank. What else happened? Magic phase, not a lot happened. The Comet didn't really do anything, and the
Comet hasn't come
Empire
down
Wizard was, is still just counting, clocking up tags. And the Empire Wizard was engaged in combat, didn't really have anything to do. My Wizard, I rolled 3 for the Winds of Magic, and I
Cast
did
Smiting
pass.
on them.
Yeah, I cast Incantation of Righteous Smiting on this unit. Now, I got a charge in this, even though he's on a hill. I thought, I'm going to charge. So I don't want him getting a charge. That'd be ridiculous. And it was kind of ridiculous
into
combat
my
anyways.
fist.
I ran into his fist.
You lost
Um,
6 guys.
It was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
6. I lost 6 on the initial attacks from his knights and horses. My retaliation was just as interesting. I managed to kill 1 with the unit. The Tomb Prince managed to get 3
hits.
three-
I rolled
three-
4 ones from my armor
3
saves
wins,
for the
4
last
ones.
4 dice.
with 4s up saves. It was quite ridiculous. So that's a ridiculous combat. And what was even worse is that he actually still won combat by 1, even though he didn't have a banner. That's all because of the hill bonus. And obviously the massive amount of casualties he caused upon me. About to start turn 7. I think this is likely going to swing Empire's way. Tomb Kings are running out of dudes.
It's been a tight game though.
It has been. It looked heavy in favour of the Empire to begin with, mainly due to. Well, we'll talk about this in a minute, I'm sure.
Alright, that's the game end. We just had to roll to see if the steam tank made it off. I rolled a 6, so off it went. And the game is won for the Empire. They managed to sneak off their broken steam tank with 4 engineers intact. And John's turn, on his last turn, all he had was those 4 models left. And they both units tried to make a last gallant charge. He needed a 9 to get in. That one rolled a 7, and that one rolled a 4.
Nothing unusual there.
Yeah. So they failed, and then my turn, I just strundled off. Overall, though, I would probably say it would have been a victory to me anyway, as John has those. Actually, your princes are quite expensive, though, aren't they?
Princes are knocking out about 130, 40 points for both of those.
I still had this unit of archers over here. The halberdiers charged in and killed the last remaining chariot. And then my outriders over there. 2 handgunners on the hill left over. My spearman unit with a wizard. And handgunner detachment and the cannon. Overall, John, what did you think of the scenario?
Scenario was interesting. I wish it was tweaked a little bit beforehand, but I thought overall it worked. It was effectively a standard pitch battle with a rolling gimmick at the back.
Yeah.
To count down the turns. So I don't know what could have been done to make that any better, but I quite liked it. Having the variable game length meant it was a fight right to the end, which is good. I mean, not that. Is it variable anyways? It is variable. Was that 40k?
I mean, overall, I thought it was alright. I mean,
Tactics wise,
I think everything went roughly according to plan. All I had to do was try and protect the steam tank and shoot your archers. Because I think your archers could have been a problem if you had that, the one where you get to shoot twice.
Yeah.
So 2 units of 20 archers shooting basically 80 shots a turn, shooting at the steam tank. I mean, we were playing at that. If you shoot the steam tank on a roll of a 5 or 6, you hit one of the engineers. So with Kemri always hitting on a 5+, they had a good chance of taking out those engineers.
There's a potential, yeah.
Because the steam tank basically was just a vehicle. It didn't have any bearing on the game in terms of shooting or combat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought your army did alright actually, John. I mean, you had some really rotten luck with your charge rolls. Jesus.
Some abysmal rolls, but also I had some quite lucky moments towards the end.
Well, that massive long charge with the chariot as a desperate attempt to try and do something.
That did pretty good. I had a good couple of turns with that.
I don't know.
Smiting spell.
I don't know if we met. Yeah, that came over a lot. I don't know if we mentioned when John charged with the chariot. He was either going to get charged in the flank by the knights if he didn't do it, so he might as well just go for it. And he made it.
Yeah, a bit tricky.
I thought my knights did alright.
They did their job. They took out a 230-point monster.
Yeah, ran over the war sphinx
with a breath attack. If that had got in your lines, you would have felt the pain.
Although my Empire Spearmen did feel the pain as they got run over by the chariots. But my man of the match goes to these archers who managed to put a wound on the war sphinx, kill a few skeleton warriors, and kill your Hierophant.
To be honest, mate, I don't think it's man of the match. I think it's man of the campaign so far.
Yeah, they did pretty well in the first game as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this second campaign scenario. We've got a third one coming up, and if you like this game, check out the others.
I didn't, so I'm not going to play it anymore.
Yeah, and if you like this game, check out the last game, because John has a good old rant at the end, which is quite hilarious.
I'm restraining myself this time. Now, looking forward to the next one.
Alright, man. Cheers.